You're listening to another Woodshop podcast, the okayest podcast of its type. Your hosts are Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop, and Braden Boakes of Littlebug Woodworking. You can find them as well as the podcast on your favorite social media channels.
Welcome to episode 206 of another Woodshop podcast, where we know you have many choices in audio-centric pleasure, and somehow you ended up here. But much like a tuna sandwich, a cold glass of water, or 2 a.m. Taco Bell, we might not be the best choice, but sometimes we're exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. We're the Ohio Rizzler of podcasts. Might not be anything special about us, but we sure are special. What's going on, boys?
When was the last time you had 2 a.m. Taco Bell? Because it's always the best for you.
At 2 a.m. That's the right place and time.
It's the best for you at 2 a.m. Not so much at 9 a.m. when you wake up.
Because the way you order at 2 a.m., you don't order that way at 2 p.m. with your kids in the car. With the boys are in a car. If it's Nick and Braden in the car with Dan, that's a different story.
Give me that Nacho Bel Grande, boy.
The problem is, though, that it used to be you could drive through the drive-thru, and be like, I got $20, give me all the tacos, and now it's like
it's like one Happy Meal.
Remember when tacos were 69 cents?
Oh my God, goodness. You just load up. Like, can I get a sleeve of tacos?
I'd like them by the bucket, like a bucket of tacos.
You know what else I love by the bucket?
Chicken.
That's not a nice name for them.
Oh, I think you mean the patrons. Our patrons. I love them by the bucket.
I love them by the bucket. I love popcorn patrons.
I like them spicy.
We got one new patron this week. Oh, excuse me. That is Garrick Chung.
Garrick, all hail.
Thank you and welcome to the Army, Garrick.
I promise you probably
had more, but it. That's all I got at the moment for Garrick. Let's talk a minute about our VIP patrons, shall we? As we always do, we like to rattle off their names. So here we go.
Say names.
Say my name. Say my name.
John. I was gonna try to sing it along with the rhythm of that. It's just not gonna happen. John Herbolsheimer of Living Lath Woodworks, Luke Bosworth of LJB Makes, Jared LaPuma of LL Builds, Tyler Booth from Temecula Yard Games, Henry Lutens from Manfreda Wood, Elevated Woodworks, that's Scotty Holland, Charlie Coons from Stubby K Studio, Justin Frazier from Frazier Canyon Woodworks, Sarah with Rosie's Wood Shop, Jesse McIntyre from Sage Hill Woodcraft, Michael at Gillette Woodworks, Jeff from Maker's Way. Welcome to the VIP Army, Jeff. Chevy versus Ram challenge accepted. That's all I got for that name.
Ram wins, clearly.
The Mayo Packet. Are you trying to...
The Mayo Packet?
The Mayo Packet at Nick Brim Woodworking. Max, Alyssa, and Ophelia Reed at Reed Design Co. Matt Maynard from Patriotic Pines. Bill Burkle over at WTB Woodworking. Justin Addy from Calvary Customs. Dorothy Dunlap. That'd be Patrick Gensel.
She's a saint.
Of course. Scott Shirk from Red Leg Custom Woodworks. Max and Mindy Coons from Stubby K Studio, Justin Bailey from Campfire Woodworks, and Kyle from Four Nances Design Co. Thanks to all of our patrons. Special shout out to all of our VIP patrons. If you want to join the Matt Army, you can go over to patreon.com/Another Woodshop Podcast and get signed up over there. We have a couple tiers.
Y'all are like mewing. You make us look good. I still don't 100% understand what that is.
I don't either, really, honestly.
No, it makes your chin look better. Also, I realized when we did the meh, 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 it's literally us going meh, 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 which is the most appropriate way to cheer.
We're really just like the seagulls from Finding Nemo. Mine, meh, 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 meh.
We need like a meh meter.
A man.
Or a meh imperial, like foot. Well,
Now you're just stretching it.
well, speaking of something that is not meh, it is our sponsor, Surfprep. And we are super stoked to have partnered up with Surfprep because we're actually going to be attending their big West Coast Maker Meetup that they're going to be throwing this Saturday. And Braden's going to give us all the details, but check out Surfprep for all your sanding needs. I just got a ton of awesome material from them. They also have some very exciting stuff coming up soon. Maybe some new equipment, maybe some new pads, maybe just like stay tuned. Dan's got a like beautiful mug that I didn't know that they even made. Braden's got a hat. I just have Surfprep underwear. That's all I've got. And let's just say it's 80 grit, but it is stylish. But Braden, you want to tell us more about the event itself?
Yes. So the event is happening this Saturday on the 8th of June. So if you're listening to this in July, you missed it. 2024, the year of our Lord. Okay. It is going from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. At 571 Burt Street in Lake Elsinore, California, 92530. They're going to have a taco truck. They're going to have drinks. They're going to have raffles. They've got over $6,000 in prizes, and all of the money from all of your entries into the raffles and whatever else they might have that you can throw money at there. All of that money is going to St. Jude's because all of us have partnered up with the Makers for St. Jude project program. So we're raising money for St. Jude's, which is great because if you can't get behind fighting childhood cancer, then you suck. But luckily, everybody we know doesn't suck because they're about that life. So make sure that if you're near Southern California, if you're in the state of California, if you're in a state bordering California, or if you have a major airline or a minor airline flying out of your city or state, come hang out with us. We're giving out crisp high fives and the smartest of butt taps while saying, good game.
Yeah, and like we're not trying to like hijack the event, but this is kind of like the AWP con of the West Coast. Like, let's be real. So well, but on a serious note, we would love to see you guys there. If you guys are going to attend, or if you're within a short drive, or again, if you're willing to fly, come join us. I think it's going to be a blast. We're going to have a grand old time, and it's right at their, at their factory. We get to see like where the butter is made, where it's churned.
I was told there will be shop tours.
There will be a shop tour. Do we got to get Dan's steel toe sandals just so he can walk through the warehouse?
Probably yes.
Don't tell OSHA.
Did Braden mention taco trucks?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Okay, I zoned out a little bit there.
We will buy you a taco and a drink if you guys join. So not only are you getting a handshake, hug, or firm tap on the behind, you're also getting a free drink and a free taco.
No drinks.
AWP.
No drinks. Can't do it. We just can't do it.
It's not in a budget.
Just can't do it.
But I'm
free hot dogs.
I'll get drink of water.
Fake drink of water. We're going to be there. We're all flying out on Friday. I actually found out something exciting that I have a layover in Denver, which is just whatever.
Nope. You don't have a layover in Denver.
Dallas.
Okay, we have a layover in Denver.
You have Denver. That's right.
We're all getting the D.
We're all getting the D.
Hold on.
So I'm going to get the double D, not because Dunlap, but I found out that Dave Meow is flying on the same second half of the flight. So he's flying from Manhattan, from either JFK or LaGuardia. So then we're going to have a layover together and then fly together and hold hands the whole time. It's going to be great.
Aww.
I got something he can scan.
I'm flying with another woodworker.
Oh, Scott Shirk is coming? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm flying with Braden.
By the way,
and his lovely family.
Yeah, that's right. The whole crew's coming.
That's right.
Dave Meow is going to be there.
Family-friendly event.
Yes.
It is.
And we're all going to behave.
Are we?
To a limit.
Yeah.
Within those business hours. And then after that, I'm not responsible for what we do.
Between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, it is technically work time.
Yeah, that's it.
After that,
okay, I'll abide by that.
But it is a weekend, so it's up in the air,
Right. It's a weekend, and technically literally Dan's self-employed, so
Oh,
Who's he getting in trouble with?
It works whatever he wants.
Oh no.
But I do want to shout out Dave because he is going to be scanning people. So if you've been looking to get scanned, or if you want to update your scan, he will be doing that there live, and you can get, you can get all scanned, baby. You can 3D print yourself. It's going to be awesome.
I need to buy like one of those really tight fitting shirts that sucks in your stomach and then maybe get rescanned.
We need girdles. We need an AWP
girdle. I need to get a girdle and get
high performance sportswear now available on the AWP Etsy.
Yeah, but do you really want to put something off the internet under that kind of load, trying to tighten us up for a photo?
As long as it's with elastic and not actual hard buttons that can turn into projectiles.
Yeah,
Velcro. Velcro's fine.
Yeah. Velcro, just wrap. We'll need like leather straps. So get some from Calavera. Hey, can we partner up on a project? Can you get it done by Saturday?
We need some leather belts. Technically, also there are going to be some other, and you can't see this, but air quotes, podcasts there as well. So if you want to see people from Sawdust Talk, if you want to see people from the Schmornery Schmarcast, I don't know how to rhyme that. The Joinery Podcast.
I like Schmoinery.
The Schmornery
Schmodcast.
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 You see, back in my day.
When I was your age.
But yeah, there's going to be a ton of makers out there. There's going to be a lot of people that you're probably following on the interwebs. So come out or don't have fun.
We're looking at least a maker's dozen of people.
A maker's dozen.
Which is, for some reason, 15.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the number translates to.
Or 11.
I want to say it.
Well, it's a normal dozen, but you've got to have 3 spares because at least 3 of them are going to be drunk.
Yeah. They're performing at 50%.
They're
good.
I was going to say they're all hired labor, so they're at best 80% of a maker.
Yeah, we're definitely not hiring extras. No, you guys are the extras. I mean, you're the. I'm just making it worse. I'm gonna shut up. Well, speaking of shutting up, let's talk about
our patron. No, that's not right.
Why don't we get into our segments? Because it's been a while since we had like a regular episode. So why don't we start with this one?
Good news, everyone.
Let's do some maker news. And I have a quick one, guys. I have a quick one, and this is for, hey, if you're born in 2000 or newer, take a nap. Anyone 95 and back, Eminem just dropped a new album. That's all I'm going to say. Just go
yes.
Go check that out.
He hasn't dropped the album yet. Just a single off the album.
So all right, there's a single. But the album's coming, and it's exciting. Things are happening.
I listening to that song I love it.
Yeah, it's some it's good, and it just brings you back. So yeah, I know what I'm going to be blasting in a shop tomorrow all day.
It's old school shady. I love it.
Yeah. Although I have to be careful. Working with my garage open, blasting like circa 2007 Eminem. It might be a little jarring on the neighborhood.
Oh yeah, I was doing the same thing. People were walking by with their dogs, like looking over, going, "What the heck is going on over there?"
Listen, everyone report.
Old.
Everyone report to the dance floor. To the dance floor. To the dance floor.
There you go. That's weird. I don't know what that means at all. But anyways, that's my entire maker news, guys. Thank you.
My maker news is also like I got nothing. I've been scrolling through YouTube and my Instagram feed, and I'm seeing nothing.
It is also Father's Day, so if you're listening to this and you have a father or you are a father, like it's just time to try to, maybe if you're a father, like I, for example, for Father's Day, I'm not a dad yet, but soon to be. I just went ahead and did like a Kmart pre-order or whatever they called it, the pay as you go or layaway. I did a layaway, but I purchased the items. The baby's the layaway part. The items were purchased, so I ended up getting myself some grilling accessories and things, and some stuff for the shop.
Yeah.
So because it's just I wasn't dad enough. The jokes were there, but I was like, I don't have like the nice like for when you do barbecuing, the tongs. The tongs. Thank you. I was gonna say pinchers. Yeah, you gotta click.
Have you seen that trend on TikTok where they put
yes
grill, some tongs?
The one that really gets me
loaf
is
of bread.
Put the loaf of bread away, and because Emma yells at me all the time for doing that, and I'm like, yeah, that's This is it.
Yeah, but it works.
Yeah.
You spin it
twist,
and then
twist and fold.
twist it under.
Twist and fold.
Yeah.
Twist and fold.
I do
baby.
think some people are loosey goosey with the rules. You gotta do it twice, either the tongs or the
click?
drill. You gotta do
Yeah,
it twice.
Well, yeah, you got to rev the engine.
Drill and the tongs definitely 2 times.
Yeah.
Or click, click. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, only a psychopath does a one click. What?
You know what? You know the
what
one
is
thing that they were missing, like a truck strap.
Oh,
Once you get it strapped down, you're like, ding.
That's not going
That ain't
anywhere.
going anywhere.
Yeah, gotta have that.
This podcast ain't going nowhere. We're just
Yeah.
strapping it down tighter and tighter.
Yeah, I
Actually-
don't have any maker news. I've looked at. You got anything?
Alex Duffy from why am I blanking on this? Duffy?
Alex
Duffy Woodcraft.
Duffy.
Alex Duffy from Duffy Woodcraft. I was trying to think of the mountains and then I went off in a different like brain direction. Alex Duffy just dropped he's been dropping some really consistent YouTube videos lately about working with his CNC. And so he's been partnering with Jenny Bits. He's been partnering with New Wave CNCs. Is it New Wave? They have the shark. He just got like the
Is
big
that the one
of
that sells the shark?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Next Wave. It's Next Wave.
Next wave.
Okay.
So it's been cool watching him partner up with that, and he's been putting out a lot of CNC content lately. And then he's also been partnering with Hamilton Dilbeck over at CNC with me, and he's been hosting like CNC with me meetups, like hang sessions where you can just sit and talk about
CNC with us.
CNCing with
CNC with us.
people
I like
and
it.
neighbors.
Nice.
So yeah, so if you're into CNC, go check out, some of his content is coming out. It's pretty cool. He's putting some projects out there, and then also check out the CNC with me, because it's a cool little community over there. And then other
Nice.
maker news. Did you guys hear that there's a maker meetup on the West Coast coming up?
I did hear that. I
What?
caught a whisper of it in the wind.
Tell me more.
Let me tell you all of the details.
Oh, great.
No. Oh, wait. See, it's funny because we already did that. That's it. That's all I got.
That is good.
It was a light news
Tacos.
week.
It was. I feel like it was. Either
The
that
Human
or I
Torch-
wasn't paying attention.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Jeez.
According to the internet, but you can't trust them. I was trying to think, like, I didn't see any videos that like popped off
Nah.
this week. No offense to
No,
anyone that dropped a video this week. Like, I'm sure they're
But
amazing videos. We purely
be
judge
fair-
videos on thumbnails and catchy titles.
Right, exactly. To be fair though, like I think I spent way more time in my shop this week trying to get caught up so that I don't feel too bad about leaving my shop for a whole weekend plus for this maker meetup.
Yeah, you
So-
you were actually really caught up. But well, why don't we?
I'm getting there.
Why don't we just get into the?
Oh, wait. Hold on. There is maker
oh,
news.
oh,
What?
there we go.
I don't know how appropriate it's going to be because I'm not sure when the time frames end, but Bambu is doing their big 2-year anniversary sale going on right now.
I was gonna let Kimani talk about that. That's in his call-in.
Never mind.
Kimani's gonna talk about
I was thinking about something else.
But listen. But this is the time to, especially tool-wise. There's a lot of Father's Day sales. So if you're gonna shop, like
Keep
you
your
got
eyes
Memorial Days,
peeled.
keep your eyes peeled because you never know. You never know.
Poppy Day price downs.
There you go, Daddy. Anyways,
Oh,
Somebody.
some daddy. All right, why don't we jump into this mess?
what's on my bench?
Dan, I cannot wait to hear about your week. Could you please start?
You want me to start?
I want you to start, Dan. Dan, I want to know what's on your bench, what's off your bench. You have
Well,
been kicking butt.
yeah, I had my helper start on Tuesday, Monday. What's today? Wednesday? Today's
It's
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We're recording a day early.
What year?
My helper started on Monday, and he's been working about 3-4 hours a day, which doesn't sound like much, but it is a massive help. And we've been, doing great. I've spent the first 2 days trying to teach him, all the ins and outs of what I do and everything. So like he could run the CNC or at least get a piece loaded and get a file good on his own. Luckily, everything that I do, it's all like files that I've already made. So he doesn't have to make any files. He just has to load them up and load in a piece and everything. So
At least yet.
yeah. I mean, we'll get there. We'll see. But he's already good. Like just today, I was like, hey, go cut me a piece of mahogany and cut out a saw stop. And he did it lickety split. It was great. I love that. So I got him doing that while I'm working on little side tables and such. We knocked out 3 bar stools. I'm gonna be honest. I've had them. I got this order like probably 2 months ago, and they were about overdue. Luckily, the customer was like, "Actually, this is fine because we're building a new house, and I don't want them until the house is built." So the timing was good. So they weren't too upset that they were late. But I've been sitting on it for a while, and I was really nervous about packaging them up because they're such an odd shape. If you saw my feed on Instagram, you may have caught a look of the shape of them. And I thought it was going to be pretty hard to, just because of the shape. But I think they packaged up really well. Probably some of the best packaging I've ever done.
That's the one you were really worried about, right?
Yeah, I was worried about it. Luckily, they're only going from Nebraska to Colorado. And if you're good with geography, you know that Colorado's only one state over. So fingers crossed that they make it okay.
You should have just brought those with us on Friday. We could have just dropped them off.
Just let them go.
Just thrown them out of the plane.
I do also just want to point out that if you are watching a YouTube video, Dan has a new background, and there's a lot of different table designs and things there. A lot of his wares and things.
Some samples, maybe some samples of some stools.
True, stool samples over here. Yeah, except they're not stools. They're not stools.
But the joke doesn't work. Table samples isn't nearly as funny.
Yes, side table. Who says that?
I'm sorry. I apologize deeply. Let's see. Oh, interesting. So I put 3 bar stools in 2 boxes just because of the way it worked out. I couldn't put 3 bar stools in 1 box. That would have been ludicrous. The boxes were 20 by 20 by 37. 1 box weighed 28 pounds. 1 box weighed 18 pounds. Whatever. It was the same price to ship both of them.
Oh, really?
10-pound difference.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think it came down to this because of the size. It was the same price. But I thought that was interesting.
Because at some point you go into cubic shipping. It's a size, not a weight thing.
I think it's below 50 pounds.
Well, I think I think it has to do with the size of the box.
Yeah.
Actually.
And like when you get into shipping, if you're shipping a lot, you realize like it's like every 4 ounces for the first pound, like the price changes. Then every pound it changes. So there's probably a tier at which it hits, and it goes like every 5 or 10 pounds as a swing as well. So there's probably a bigger, wider range on those. But size definitely, like cubic shipping, it works nicely for you though, because then you can like just kind of pack it in there.
So I thought that was interesting. The other thing, as Pete pointed out, if you're watching the YouTube, I took down that fort that has been up in my house. I built a indoor fort for my kids probably about 9 years ago. Dunlap, yes. And they haven't used it in several years, and it's just taken up space.
I'm a little sad about it. It's been in your background since like the very beginning.
Yeah, it has been. I mean, even when I was over there, you could still see it because it was way in the back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always been
every
there.
night that we would get together, we'd see the fort and be like, "Oh, it's another fortnight. That's great."
Okay. So yeah, the fort is no longer. I got rid of some stuff. I gave away some of the wood. I burnt some of the wood. It's all gone. It's all gone. Let's see what else. I had other things I was going to talk about. Oh yeah. Speaking of the bar stools. So if you are a purveyor of my IG, you probably saw that I screwed one up. I think the whole world has seen that.
And the world was angry. They're so mad.
Got almost 1 million views.
I remember my first time using the router table.
God,
Your wood was too wet. That's the problem.
It was both too wet and also too dry.
So, anyways, the seat planks for the bar stools that I made, because who knows? I have no idea. Wood just cups sometimes, or 2 of the 3 cupped. One was fine. Whatever.
Did they cup in a cradle the cheek fashion, or like it was on the crack fashion?
It would have been better for the cheeks, but it wasn't good.
Cheek centric or gooch centric?
It was cheek centric.
Okay.
Yes, it was a good cheek cup.
Just some people pay through a planer.
Yeah, some people pay extra for that.
Yeah.
But 3D carves, so you couldn't put it through the planer because there was no like level surface on the top side.
Well, what about the bottom side? Oh, there was. Oh, because you don't have like a flat edge going around.
There was nothing flat about it after it cupped.
You could put down a sheet of melamine and then just dump spray foam and then smush it down.
Well,
and then wait until it dries.
I'm gonna explain what I did. If you guys give me,
did you clamp it on a vise and then hand plane the bottom flat?
No, no, I did not. What I ended up doing is I put them on the CNC, manually flattened them with the CNC,
and you just
actually worked out well.
You just held it so it wouldn't like tip.
Yeah,
you put your hand in there.
I held it with my hands. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I did. Oh, my hands.
He didn't even move the bit. He had it like just high enough. He actually moved it by hand.
But I'll tell you what about those bar stools.
I'll tell you what.
The customer asked that they come unfinished because they want and finish them themselves. I went over those things. What?
I was gonna say, do you think that it was because they just didn't trust you to match a stain color, or do you think that they just really, really love finishing, or what? What's
I think they wanted it is the same color that their kitchen cabinets are made out of. That their kitchen made out of all, so they bar out of alder as well. So they were going to get the same stain and stain themselves.
And they were going to stain them with walnut.
Whatever they stain them with, I don't care. It's their money, it's their stain. What makes me nervous is if you're familiar with any sort of project that uses stain, after you sand off every tiny bit of glue that you can, that will show up when you're staining, and that is what I'm worried about. So I went over those bar stools with a fine-tooth comb and tried to get every tiny little piece of glue that I could see. And I don't know if you know this, but alder is a light color, and the glue is a light color. It was really tough to see. So fingers crossed that it's good.
Oh my God. The stains on it, it looks like a Jackson Pollock painting. Looks like a teenager's bedroom.
Probably. I'm just waiting for the negative review come in. I can't wait. Let's see. What else is on my bench? Not a whole lot. I feel like we've been getting a lot of stuff done, which is great. My Etsy queue was at 82 on Friday, this past Friday. And as of this morning, it was at 33.
Drum roll. What is it at now?
Well, I've gotten
38.
Several orders today. Yep. Yeah. It's 38. 30.
Awesome. There you go. That's a good amount.
Got another table order today. I've been getting table orders like crazy.
I just want a running ticker tape. I want a running ticker tape of Dan's Etsy queue, just like the New York Stock Exchange. Just to, I want to buy high
and down. Yeah. Dan coin, Dunlap coin.
Oh, that would tank in a heartbeat.
Dunlap
don't buy that.
Well, yeah, because it starts at a negative. You're actually they're paying you to buy it.
All right, that's enough for me. I want to hear what Braden's up to.
I am actually pretty light on my bench. I went hamburglar on the 400 puzzle boxes that we were talking about last week. So those showed up last Friday, and I told the customer that I needed at least 2 weeks worth of lead time because it's a lot and I hadn't done it and just want to make sure. So, under promise, over deliver. So I did that. It turns out I can plow through 400 units in less than a weekend. So I told them I was going to start them on Monday. I was actually finished on Sunday, which led to the interesting dilemma of, do I tell the customer that I got done way, way early?
Absolutely not.
And ruin my lead times with them forever? Or do I just sit on this, 400, 500 units of things that are just like sitting in my shop in my way? I decided to hold on to them. So I'm gonna text them on Tuesday when we get back from California and say, hey, I'm ahead of schedule. So, these are all ready to pick up. And that should,
nice.
That should save me from myself for later. But, so I knocked all those out. The cedar boxes are done. I've been getting a lot of digital orders, which has been really kind of a cool thing to watch happen. Like, I don't know how people are finding my one digital file, but it's just like every day I'm getting 1 or 2 buys, and it's not a lot. It's like $2, but I'm up $26 so far, and I haven't had to do anything. And it was a file that I had already created.
That's the best. That's $26 you didn't have.
Right. So
that's
I'm definitely
one Taco Bell order.
In this economy. But yeah, so I'm definitely going to start taking some of the files that I normally do anyway, and I'm going to start creating some more digital files. Because just having that passive income, it just makes a lot of sense, and it's time to, just do it, so I'm not having to think about it. And then the only other thing that I've got before we head out this Friday is, no matter what happens, anytime we have any sort of trip, Maker Camp, Workbench Con, I go out of town for work, something like that. Anytime where I've got something where I'm not going to be able to be in the shop, I immediately get an order from Etsy, and I do not get orders from Etsy. Like, I don't sell a ton on there. I get an order from Etsy, and it's always something that I don't have in stock. It's always something that, like, I just sold the last one. So, Dan, that like rainbow trivet tray that I had that I sold at the craft fair, like one of the 4 things we sold all day.
Yeah,
that got bought. So now I got to make another one.
Nice.
So,
very good.
Yeah. So I've pushed all of my ship dates out like 3 weeks for just about everything in my shop. So I'll just do that when I get back. But yeah, without fail, if we're going somewhere, order. So, problem, it's not really a problem sort of thing.
So about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago at this point, I went on a 1 week long trip, which is like the longest I've taken of a vacation in a long time. And I was busy with Etsy at the time. And I changed my thing to, I think it's 5 to 7 days is the range, because that gives you essentially 10 days to ship something out. Or maybe it's 3 to 5 days, whatever it is, like, because it gives you 5 days. And if it's 5 business days, you have 2 weekends usually to get that completed. So like, I think it is the 5 to 7 days. So I'm always, wherever I go away for like a week is the most I'll take it as a vacation away from the shop. It covers me fully. And it hasn't really impacted my orders to the point where I've just left it. So all the 3D printing orders, like, I got a week to ship. TikTok shop is the one that's like a little difficult, because you got to ship within 3 days, but it's whatever. We don't get that many of those, but you might just want to bump that lead time and just give yourself the flexibility of like 5 days, especially with a weekend. If you get something while you're going away for a trip, you're pretty well covered.
Pete, what do you never do though? What do you never do?
Never close your shop.
Never put.
You never go in vacation mode. Never go in vacation.
You're better off going behind on orders than closing up your shop. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you what, because Dan's a perfect example. Look, he's successful. He's killing it. He's getting more orders than he can keep up with.
Perpetually.
He is a month behind on some orders.
Yep.
That's not me calling him out. That's just like, he's able to still be busy in his shop, but he didn't close it. If he had closed his shop because he got overwhelmed, I doubt it would be this.
I've heard horror stories from people that put their shops in vacation mode and then they can't get back their foot that they've made on Etsy in the SEO. Like,
Yeah, because doesn't Etsy pretty much just like they just pull you out of the ad rotation? Like they just stop pushing your stuff because it's a bad experience for the customer.
It's basically a crazy clingy girlfriend, and you're like, oh, you're shutting down. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We're fine, but you're not going to get any orders. That's basically what it is.
No orders for you.
No orders for you. Not that, I've dated any girls like that. Thank God for Emma. Jesus.
Pete, what's on your bench? What are you working on?
On my bench, actually I had to really think about what I was doing this week. It was a busy week. It's also shorter because I guess we're down a day. We're starting on Wednesday. But I got some more work done on ice climbing tools. The one thing I was trying to wrap up a lot, I mentioned this to you guys, where I'm behind, the hooks. I'm behind on content deliverables. So I've gotten stuff shipped to me. We don't reach out to brands that often. Brands don't really reach out to us that often. It happens once a month or whatever. It all kind of culminated in May. They all reached out. And I out of nowhere, I had a bunch of boxes in my house, and I'm like, I have to make sponsored content for the next month. This sucks, and I got all stressed out and whatever. But we caught up. We recorded some stuff that we needed to do, get some videos out. It's always hard because you don't want to make any video look like an ad or feel like an ad. But sometimes you're also like, this is an ad. Who cares? It's whatever. If they say it's okay, it's fine. At the end of the day, it's going to get lost in the algorithm. But we're just getting caught up on stuff. We usually try to work with just brands that we actually like. I think I jokingly was talking about Casper mattresses a week or two ago. Listen, when I get to the point where I can get Casper to pay me money to talk about a mattress, okay, cool. I'm not gonna go out of my way to try to hunt them down. I'd rather work with brands
I would totally be down with that.
Yeah, but I'd rather work with some that I actually use. So,
you don't use a mattress?
Have you seen the price of mattresses these days?
They're pretty expensive.
Oh, they're
ridiculous.
Pretty nuts. Ridiculous.
It's pretty nuts. But it was nice to get caught up on a bunch of the content. I literally had boxes underneath my CNC, just fully stacked up with things that needed to be opened up. Not a lot of things, just larger boxes, and it's just taking up so much space. And then there's stuff that I got in the mail that I ordered or whatever, and I just want to shout out the brand and kind of do a video on it. It's video ideas are sitting down there. Mm-hmm. So I try to get caught up on that stuff. It's just so busy. The other thing I did. That reminds
me. I got a laser pecker LP2, and I still haven't shown it on the internet anywhere. I need to do that.
I think it's called an L2P2.
Is it P2L2
R2 L2P2?
No, it's that little portable laser.
That thing's cool. It's the one with the handle you can put on.
Fairs. Yeah.
Yes.
It's right over there. I need to make content around it.
I think I have some content of you working that laser.
Please share it with me.
I'll just post it and put you as a collaborator.
That works for me. I don't care.
I started posting a little more aggressively this month because I actually got Instagram bonuses are back. Yeah,
I haven't got that yet. So I've seen a few people talk about that.
You'll see pop up. Actually, the first time I saw it pop up wasn't on my page. When you go to your profile, I actually saw it pop up in my notifications, which I never really check my notifications because messages, comments, whatever. I just go to the posts and actually respond to recent ones. But I clicked on it one day and it said you're eligible for blah blah blah. I'm like, why is this in here and nowhere else? How is this the first time I'm finding out? How come I don't get an email from you guys saying that it's available?
It's because you're not blue checked. You don't get emails.
Right, exactly. But it's not I don't think I even met the threshold yet. It's just different.
Well, that answers my next question. Yeah.
Yeah. The threshold, so it's it's not even a view thing. It says you have to, at least for mine, it's $25. So you have to hit that threshold. And I have some video popping off, but I think it was just before the cutoff, and it's over 1 million views. And of course, sorry, but that doesn't count.
Of course, I got this popping off, and I'm not. It'd be nice if I was getting paid to get all those hate comments. That'd be great.
I know, it's the worst when it's when you have a video popping off and it's something from the past. So we're just trying to stay a little more consistent with our content. But then aside from that, with all the boxes and things that we've been getting, baby stuff and getting all that prep, but I've actually got to install a bunch of stuff for the shop, and I got some stuff for myself for Father's Day. I was kind of joking around earlier, but I did. I bought some grilling stuff.
This guy.
You have no idea how many comments I got from people that are like, get a real knife for the brisket. Like, because I was using like a kitchen knife, and they're like, get a real knife. You Pollock, so really, really mean. Yeah, I know. John Chaney is really mean, man. When you talk barbecue, I'm Kenny loves that dude.
Speaking of knives, I finally broke. So our knives are pretty much, they're rounded. Like they are not sharp. They're dull. They need to be sharpened. And so I finally broke down and I bought that Instagram ad one where you like
the rolling one.
You roll it, but I didn't get the Instagram one because that's like $90, $120. I went to Amazon. I found the knockoff that has the exact same wrapper and just a different logo on it. It actually works pretty good. And I spent
you could have got it for even half that price at Temu.
And wait a couple months.
Like I said, I got the knockoff version through Amazon, and it was a reasonable price, certainly cheaper than me taking my knives somewhere to get sharpened. But it's pretty cool, and it's fun. Like I'll just stand up there watching Netflix, and I'll just roll back and forth. It's kind of therapeutic.
Listen, you need a good knife sharpener.
Can you do that while on the toilet? Could you make like a knife sharpening thing while you're just sitting there? Instead of
you just need doom scrolling on the
toilet, you just like sharpen your knives on the toilet?
With like 2 cove rests so you can put them on your knees.
I don't necessarily want to be pantsless with a knife that could go in any direction.
Coward.
That I am. Yes, absolutely. That is a word that would describe me in this specific instance.
Well, that's why you need to make the top so it like there's a curve for like your stomach, so you can like really get it really right up to your body.
Get it tight, gasket it in,
tight
lock it,
gasketed seal.
So that when you pull it off, it goes. I can't do that.
That like
flex seal. You can get anything to stick to your stomach, you fat piece of crap.
Or get like window sealer, the foam to like if your windows are a little drafty, just put that on the edge.
You stand up and you just take this thing. It's like the glue line on all of our shirts, except it's a bare line of no hair.
The glue line's such a thing. I should just make a shirt that's just, instead of like a logo up top, it's just glue lines, like fake glue lines on the bottom. That'd be so dumb.
Or put a saying that says, "This is proof that I work," and it points to the glue line.
This is my glue shirt.
This is my glue up shirt.
What does that mean? Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah. And if I have a hard time drawing it, all I have to do is actually just like take a cutting board glue up and just like stick it on my belly, peel it off. There you go. I got my pattern. It's like almost like a tie-dye shirt.
Arrow pointing up that says the glue line.
The glue line.
You'd be like, this feels inappropriate, but we can't put our finger on if it is.
I want to flag it, but I can't. Doesn't fit any criteria. Geez. But speaking on the sharpening though, like I really need to get these ice climbing tools wrapped up because the sharpening. There's a joke in there, but
one day a year.
What I want to do is I have one of those tool chests that like the top sections just put on top of the bottom chest. And I want to take that top section off, put it somewhere else, and I actually want to turn that into a sharpening station. I have a Tormek sharpener that I've been wanting to set up for like a year, but I haven't had time. And I told myself, like, once I finish this, I have no other commissions. I can just do this stupid thing and have a sharpener and sharpen my knives. So
I can't wait for you to get one more commission. There's always just the one more commission.
Now everything's like, until like the baby comes, like I'm saying no to everything. Like I had people ask me for like stupid stuff that I could like do in like 10 minutes. But I think I went on a rant last week. Somebody actually tagged me in a story about it. Mitch from Horn Dog Maps was like, yeah, just a simple solution. Because like anytime a 10-minute project turns into an hour, or if you have a couple beers, it kills your whole night. And the easy solution is don't have friends. I'm like, that's so true. I hate how true that is. But like it's tough when somebody comes over for a quick little project or wants like, hey, it's just this little thing. Like, no, it's not. You're gonna be here for 2 hours. We're gonna talk about
it never
cats
is.
And kids and stuff, people we saw, whatever. But anyways, that's kind of my bench. It's just been kind of all over the place, but we're getting caught up on some content, and like Dan's getting caught up on his queue. I'm getting caught up on my queue, just a different queue. So
don't jinx it. but
You
things are
did
going
great,
down,
man.
going
Dude,
well over here.
Getting down to the 30s, that's awesome. That's incredible.
That's really good for me.
That's
really
really
good. For
good.
me.
That's great. That's great for Etsy queues and pant sizes. So
Yeah, I need to work on
I'm
that
still
one.
in the 30s for pant sizes, just barely.
Pete,
gotta-
are you doing some electrical work? What is with that electrical box behind you, just up on the ceiling?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a little silly because I'm standing up. That's where the projector used to be. So it snakes down. Yeah, I need to put a cap on it. I apologize. I should move my camera down so it's not actually but then it blocks my hat, my wonderful hat.
So just hold your hand up like this.
Yeah, just stand like this.
Line it
the
up,
whole
just
night.
stand like
Put your hands down. Put your hands down. That's not this kind of podcast, guys.
left hand. Oh no! Whoops.
No, nope. No.
Maybe we cut that part out.
Yeah. Let's just jump into the next thing since we're
Yeah.
talking about my hat getting blocked. Dan, who are you wearing?
I'm wearing a Goodfellas t-shirt. I believe that's
Any
a
glue
Target
lines?
brand.
Any glue lines?
No, actually not yet.
I
Get
thought
out
you
of
were
here with these rookie numbers.
I
These
thought you were gonna
rookie
pull your
numbers.
shirt up like a kid.
No glue lines, but I got a lot of lint down
You
there.
want glue lines?
And just my Petrie's portrait Daniel Dunlap Woodworks hat. I don't know how to explain that. How do you explain that?
It's a mosaic of a just a
A
young
little
man
Polish boy.
virgining into adulthood.
He's what?
I got a picture of a little Polish boy on my hat.
Well,
Not blossoming. Did you say virgining?
I don't know.
That's an aggressive way to use that
Words
verb.
just flew out
No?
of his mouth, and it just got really awkward.
Is virgin a verb? Which
It
is
is
like
now.
the greatest way to insult someone. Look at you just virgining your way through life. I have a new insult. I love it.
Braden, save us from this. What's on your head?
Listen,
What's on your head?
What's on your head? What's on your head?
in honor of the West Coast Maker Meetup, we're getting close. Got my Surfprep hat. They have like the best apparel. I love Surfprep stuff. Their hats are great. Their shirts are fantastic. Their shirts are like
Actually, the shirts are they're pretty
like
nice.
4 out of 7 days.
I've been wearing the Surfprep shirt so much it has a glue line now. So now I can't wear it to Surfprep.
we were talking about this the other day, Braden, because we were ordering a shirt for you. It's the Gildan
soft style.
soft style, which is the Gildan answer to Bella Canvas. Like,
Yep.
Oh,
And
is
it's
that what
it's
that
a
is?
little bit thicker, but it's soft.
That's how
Like,
they
it's real
describe me.
nice.
by the way, if you're ever looking to get shirts done, like
Soft.
all these words mean something, like, and how comfortable they are and how rugged they feel. Because Gildan tends to be the more rugged one, and then Bella Canvas is like just so soft.
The traditional Gildan, it's the one that feels like it could stand up in the corner by itself.
Like
It's a
those
work
are
shirt. I have
I don't
a
like that.
Gildan
I
line
really
that's
don't
like
like
more of like
that.
a work shirt. We're actually thinking about we're going to be renaming the shirts that are Gildan as a like utility work shirt or something a little thicker so it doesn't like catch on things. And then the other one's going to be comfort, ultra soft.
ooh,
For her pleasure.
the Petrie Comfort line.
Petrie Comfort line. I love it.
And then for shirts, I got my little bug.
No, yeah, just a little bug.
Just a pequeño buggo. I didn't do great in Spanish in high school.
Oh, Jesus.
That was small.
Pete,
I am wearing.
We're just
I
gonna
guess-
skip that. Okay.
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
skip what?
Pequeña. Is that little in Spanish?
Pequeño.
Pequeño? Okay.
I'm
I thought it was-
99% certain.
I thought it was Paquito.
Hold on.
Emma,
could
what's
just be-
small in Spanish? Oh, both are right, apparently.
Yes. And that's the best kind of right. Technically right.
Technically right. I'm wearing, I guess I'm wearing a brunch shirt, the stealth kind. It's like
I thought you said brunch. I was like, ooh, brunch?
shirt. It's my brunch shirt. Actually, so funny
My
story
brunch
about
attire.
front. Like I'm in the office and our AC's out and the HVAC guys are out, and I go like, is he wearing a Brunt hat with the logo because he had it like flipped backwards, and I see him like, yep, the dude's wearing a Brunt hat, and then I look down, he's wearing a pair of the boots too. And we start like chatting. He's like, "Oh yeah." Like I follow him on Instagram. Like, I have an affiliate code if you're ever looking for some gear. He's like, yeah, dude, totally. And I'm like, yeah, I know Jeremy and the crew. Like, they're great. And we actually got to chatting. He's like, wait, you like know them? I'm like, yeah. Like Brunt in the Wild. So it's funny to find like a brand. But like they're kind of making their, I'm giving them a shout out. Like they're kind of making their name in the industry, like of union guys. But my favorite piece of attire is my Peachy's Workshop, sexy young guy virgining his way through life, but the little bug version. Just by the way, that has to be our show title now. Like virgining through life.
Virgining through life.
Virgining through life.
Yeah, our sponsor is Surfprep. They probably wouldn't care.
They're fine. We've said Surfprep West Coast Maker Meetup enough times to cancel out anything
How do
we
you spell
say.
virgining?
It's more positive.
Virgining.
Through life. Or
Okay.
If you want your
Got it.
own virgining through life ball cap, hit me up and we can get you an official AWP Pete virgining through life with your own brand name.
There you go.
just hey, listen, it was a hard time for me. It was a confusing time in my life. It was no longer a
Clearly.
boy, not quite yet a woman. It's really exciting.
That was the young man that Shania Twain was singing about.
Man,
I feel like a woman.
I feel like a woman.
Oh.
Cancelled.
Ah.
That's how you get demonetized.
Oh.
So we actually we should get into questions, and
Yeah, we should.
we didn't get to most of the questions last week because we just kind of jumped on a topic, and we had one of the questions that was along with it, and we just kind of went to town.
We got a lot of really good feedback on last week's episode.
I got some good feedback. Yes,
I got at least 2 people said that it was okay.
I had like mid
Tolerable.
single digits, which is like, I know this sounds silly, but like if one person tells you something, like that's cool. If 2 people tell you something, that's probably a good like amount of people that actually enjoyed it but didn't say anything.
It's pretty
And then
skibbity.
if like 4 or 5 people tell you something, you did okay. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
You've been mewing. That's mad.
second base.
Mad. Yeah, that's mad Riz.
Well, why don't we do questions backwards? So we're gonna start with Kimani because he had some maker news in there. So we'll start with him.
Hit him with the remix. DJ Khaled.
Or the file could crash and not actually play. That's fun too. Let's try that again. Oh, because I renamed it. That's right. Kimani
Whoops.
Strayhorn.
Hey guys, how's it going? Are
Driving
you all
through a tunnel,
packed and
clearly.
ready? We got the West Coast Maker Meetup happening this weekend, Saturday, June 8th at Surfprep headquarters. The weather's supposed to be good, partly cloudy in the 80s, so bring some sunscreen and I'll just stay melanated. So yeah, should be a good time. And if this is the first time anybody's hearing this, Saturday, June 8th, West Coast Maker Meetup. Anyway. I'm not sure if this is going to make it into Maker News or not, but Bambu is having a sale. And last year I bought a P1P with the AMS because I'm not a coward. And it's been working great. I haven't, printed as much lately, but, it's good to have the option. And I figure now that the sale's going on, probably, mainly Pete because he does the most printing out of all of you. That people might ask, what kind of printer should I get? Now might be the time for them to buy one. And, they'll have general questions. So what are some topics or pointers you'll kind of give to people as they're choosing through the different models and sizes and speed options, just to kind of maybe help them navigate that water a little bit better? Because not everybody speaks 3D printer as well as others. So, yeah, that was all. Not much of a question, but more, guidance for the other people out there, especially anybody looking at buying a P1P with the AMS, unless they're going to be a coward about it, Braden. So anyway, yeah, can't wait to see you guys. Should be a good time, and yeah, catch you on the West Coast.
Oh, I guess he'll be there too. Cool.
Yeah, is any part of one of those other podcasts that are going to be there? Technically.
Podcast adjacent.
I don't know
Yeah.
if that's
He just happens to show up. He's like he's like a chafe. Like he shows up at the worst of times.
just a virgining young podcast.
Just a virgining young man trying to make his way in the maker world.
Just a grown man trying his best. So anytime I fail, I'm just a grown man trying my best. I'm just trying to get through life. Well, Dan, I would love for you to answer that question.
What? There was that wasn't even a question, was it?
I'm not 100% certain that Dan knows what Bambu is. He's a baby 3D printer.
Bambu A1 Mini.
He does have koala energy. Or not koala. What is it? What's the
Sloth?
one that? No, what's the one that eats
Panda?
Panda.
Pandas.
You do have panda energy.
I can.
Yeah, sorry, koalas have chlamydia. I would not wish that on you. That's a thing. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, that's a thing. Look at
I have the Bambu A1 Mini, and that thing hasn't been turned on in probably a month and a half.
Oh my god! I actually forgot Dan has a printer.
Yeah, it sits over there on the kitchen table.
Wow!
Right on the kitchen table. I need to find a home for it. I need to put it like over here, but I have a lot going on over here, and now I have all this space. Maybe I'll put it over here somewhere.
I can't wait for the moment to click when Dan realizes just how much nonsense he can print on the 3D printer. Like the second he gets out of the mindset of maybe I should do this for work and just gets into the, ooh, look, I can make fidget toys just appear.
Oh, my daughter has printed a handful of those fidget toys. She printed like a train whistle, a manta ray thing, a whale, one of those 3D puzzle things. We printed a little CD holder thing that looks like a milk crate.
The heck is a CD?
Compact disc.
Oh, it's what the old kids used to listen to.
The old M&M CDs used to come on that.
Yeah, tiny records.
They kind of are tiny records.
My daughter has printed a bunch of stuff on the thing. I haven't touched it hardly.
That's cool that she got into it. Well, we all know that she's cool and she's a little nerdy too because she's done. Didn't she win the science fair or she placed or something?
When she was in 6th grade, she won first place.
Wasn't she part of some like science thing within the last year? STEM?
No,
science?
that was my son probably.
Oh, well, whatever. They're both smart. You got good kids. It really just makes no sense, but your kids are smart.
Yeah, I don't know where they get it from. Definitely not from me.
Says the guy running a CNC and making intricate cuts every day.
Yeah,
Dan doesn't give himself enough credit.
I can't weigh in on the 3D printer thing. I don't know why you threw this to me. One of you go.
Dan, I want to put a pin in this. Dan, give yourself more credit, man. I deal with CEOs that can't download the Outlook app. You run a machine that eats wood and spits out a finished product, and then you measure everything perfectly, and then you ship it, and you somehow that pays for your family. Like you give yourself some credit, bud.
For now,
you're doing pretty great. You're doing better than most of the public.
Pat yourself on the butt and say, "Good game."
Hey, some people out there voted for the Green Party, guys. Okay, you're doing better. You're doing okay.
Better than I won't say it. Never mind. Continue.
Braden, do you have anything to say?
Well, I feel like I should have something more to say because I was called out by name. Good Lord. I'm struggling.
What is he talking about? Why did he call you out?
Because in the group chat, I've been bouncing back and forth all day today on if I buy the A1 or if I buy the P1P.
Or if you buy nothing.
Or if I buy nothing. Basically, I've got what I believe everybody else knows medically as the Justin Bailey itch.
Wow. What? There's no cure for that.
I don't even want to get into the details of that. However, I do want to know what's the difference between the A1 and the P1P. Is the P1P just bigger?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Dan. Braden, go tell him.
Okay, so the P1P is the unenclosed version of the P1S. Basically it's their bigger one. It prints faster, and because it's enclosed or can be enclosed, you can print different materials that are, I don't know, going to try and kill you. Is that right, Pete? Like ABS, I believe that you can print on the P1P, but you're not supposed to print it on the A1.
You can.
If I just don't stand over it and breathe deeply, or what?
You can print ABS and be fine if you're doing it once in a while. If you're doing a whole like line of production line of prints in ABS, you're gonna have a bad time.
Okay, now that begs the question: what's ABS?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Dan.
Anti-lock brake systems.
Well, that's what I thought it was.
No, it's a hardened plastic, very resistant to heat. A lot of times it's used in auto parts, so it doesn't actually warp as much. You print it at a pretty high temperature, and it off gases quite a bit when you're printing it. So you have to actually vent it. So
Because even though it's resistant to heat, to print it, you have to heat it up.
you heat it up to it's off gassing.
I see. I see.
As opposed to after Taco Bell where you're on gassing.
And then afterwards, you're off gassing or out gassing.
Technically, you're outputting.
Well, after we have tacos, I'm going to be out gassing you guys. Ayo.
But anyway, the Justin Bailey itch is basically when you've got money, a little bit of money in your pocket, and you're like, I gotta buy something new. I gotta get something shiny. I haven't bought a tool in a while, and I'm starting to get, I've had some jobs that have paid off a lot of my business line of credit, and so now I'm thinking like this is a good opportunity if with the discounts to add to my 3D printing collection.
It's like you're losing money if you don't buy it when it's on sale.
That's exactly correct. I'm losing money if I don't buy it on sale. Plus, I want to.
That's just math.
I want to support them because capitalism.
But do they have that in China?
I'm maybe I don't know. We could get into geopolitics, but who has the time? But basically, so the A1 Mini, which is what you have, you can get for $199. Normally it's $299, so pretty decent discount. The A1, which is their more traditional style of 3D printer.
It's like the A1 Mini, but not mini.
Sure.
Where is it? Oh,
I was gonna say, what are you pointing at? There. Yeah, it's similar to
Is
that.
that a Bambu? I thought that was a Prusa.
that's a Prusa Mini, but it's kind of the same footprint.
The A1 is a more traditional style. It's normally $399. It's on sale for $339, which, at $339, that's kind of at the point where you can kind of spend some fun money and you're probably not going to be homeless. At least, I'm blessed to be at a point where that's kind of where I'm at.
I think if I bought something for $399 without okaying it with my wife, I could possibly be homeless. For other
wheels
reasons.
and tires cost more than $399.
Hey, we won't go there. That's a business expense.
So, and that's all of whatever I'm looking at here. It's all the write-off. So it's all fake money anyway. The P1P is the Bambu, more traditional one style, but it doesn't have the sides on it. And I'm just oversimplifying this. I can see Pete just panicking.
No. This, you're given the, like, I don't want to say this in a negative way, but like the pedestrian answer, like the
dumb answers.
No, this is the answer that everyone gets. Like, this is without saying terms and ABS and stuff like. I jumped into that and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Most people don't know what that is. So please keep going. This is good info.
So the P1P can have sides on it or can have an enclosure, but it does not. It prints faster than the A1 for technology reasons. It's normally $699. It's on sale for $499, so it's $200 off. You could practically buy that and the A1 Mini for the same price that you would normally spend. So you're getting it's a buy one get one.
Yeah, that's BOGO.
And then they've got the P1S, which is the same thing. It has the sides attached. It's $699 down to $599. And then the X1 Carbon is normally $1,200. It's down to $1,049, and that's like their creme de la creme. This is the one that they print off everything in like 14 seconds or something like that.
Oh yeah, I've seen that thing move in real time. That's wicked fast.
Yeah, that's the one that's the Lamborghini of the line. So, but anyway, so I'm in between. I'm kind of kicking around if I get the P1P. Because I can enclose it later and I would get the speed boost or the speed benefits. And then I can add the AMS, which is the multi-spool feed for all of these. I can add that later.
AMS, that's the multicolor.
Yep, it's the multicolor
right?
thing. Yeah. So, or do I get the A1 because it's
You obviously
higher
get the
end.
one. You obviously get the one that has the most money off. So it was whatever one had the $200 off.
That's kind of where I'm at. Is it's the best deal right now. And so
Yeah.
here's kind of my catch, Pete.
You're losing money if you don't do it.
Pete, I know you don't want me to spend money, and you're absolutely right. It's the right thing to do, but my daughter is getting into making, like she's getting into projects, and she like loses her mind with a 3D printer. And part of me really kind of thinks I should just get the A1 Mini because I could get the multicolor prints. And like the stuff that I'm printing for her, most of it's small stuff, or I'm scaling it up literally just for the wow factor for her. But it's smaller, it's cheaper, it'll print faster. And honestly, I think she'd be able to watch it. So it's something I could put, kind of up in her craft room and not have to panic that she's going to demolish it. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I'm just juggling. Do I save the most money and try and make it like a part of my business? Or do I just make it, like, end of the day, 3D printing is just kind of a fun thing that I do anyway. So that's where I'm at.
All right.
Pete.
Okay, so he was asking about something about a guy dancing. Guy dance?
Yes.
So here's my guy dance on 3D printing. I'm very split down the middle. I'm 50-50, and I don't know why my mic turns down. So my whole thing on 3D printing is I'm really split into two houses. One, I want everyone to have one in their house because this is the future. You're all going to have 3D printers in your life. B, don't get it. You don't need it. And my example is Dan. And like there's like Dan knows his stuff. He knows 2D and 3D from he gets it because he gets the concept because he's actually dealt with it with the CNCs and with lasers. So it's just a baby step up to 3D printers. But unless you're utilizing it, you might not actually need it. Now, that being said, they're cool as heck, and I really want everyone to have one. And I think honestly, for $200, that's a no-brainer cost. Even if you're financially okay to drop $200 on a printer and be like, you know what, if I don't use this again after 6 months, it's fine. I got $200 worth of fun. Absolutely get it. But I think, and again, I don't want anyone to take this as me trying to gatekeep or anything, because again, I want everyone to have a 3D printer. I think it's cool. I think there's a lot of hype game happening around 3D printing, and a lot of people are jumping on it, thinking this is the next thing that they need to be in. And I want to say that it's okay to not be in it. It's okay to have a buddy with it, or it's okay to get one and use it once. It's your money. Like, we used to say back in retail, like, don't shop with your customer's wallet. Like, I don't want to shop with your wallet, but if you want to blow your money, whether it's on credit card or cash or whatever, go for it. So you have to figure out where you want to be with it. Like, do you just want to take advantage of the sale, or do you actually have room and practical use for this thing in a shop? Or are you going to order it and not use it for 6 months like I've done to some things?
I think where Braden really sold his case was where he said that his daughter was really getting into it.
Absolutely.
Keep her curious.
Absolutely. And I think that's a great reason. Like, I love that Dan's kids are using a printer even more than he is. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a great use case. I'm only using Dan as an example of there's so many people that reach out to me about 3D printing, because for a while I became like the guy to ask. Like, me and Dave, like, everyone was reaching out to us about these questions, and people felt like they had to get one, and then they got it. And some of these printers never made it out of the box. They just got it. Because some people have disposable income, and I don't want to shop with their wallets, and it's okay to get one, enjoy it. But like, if you're not actually going to use it, it's like buying a drill and then just keeping it in a box, never even charging the battery. So, think if you're actually going to want to use it. And again, I'm kind of going back and forth, but like, if you have the money, go for it. It's do whatever you want. But it's like, if me and Dan just bought, like, Dan, if we bought a Shaper Origin, me, you, and Braden, we all bought Shaper Origins, and then we're like, go, I had $2,000 to spend. I got a Shaper Origin because it seems really cool, and I could use it once in a while, and it just sits there. Now, this is an extreme
probably
example.
find a use case for it, though.
We all would. We all would once in a while, and it would come out of its sustainer once a month, and then once every 6 months, and then maybe it would find its way onto marketplace. And I think there's nothing wrong with that, because I think that's a great way to spread the love to the community, because people tend to buy our tools that we got excited about and then sell them off. So again, I'm really giving two answers this entire time, and I apologize. But I want you guys to stay curious. If you see new technology, jump on it. I think it's great. This is a great sale to jump onto. And for $200, like I paid $329 for that printer behind me, that Prusa Mini, that literally sits as an accessory in my background for the live now. But that being said, I use all my Prusas downstairs. I don't want to have to slice all my work for a Mini and then for my other printers. And as far as
there's a word that I don't understand yet either. What do you mean by slice?
Slice, so like when you do a 2D carve, it's kind of like it's a tool path.
He's creating the G code.
In 3D printing, the tool path is layer by layer. And if you choose the layer, the default layer height is 0.2 millimeters. So it's 5 layers per millimeter, which is about almost 10 layers per eighth of an inch. To give you like 10 layers lay down, and it's eighth of an inch, roughly. I'm just kind of rounding up here.
Okay.
So this is all like, I'm trying not to get too technical with it, but to get really technical in it, because Kimani does actually talk about this, there are two major types of printers these days that people are talking about. There is it's called a bed slinger. Bed slinger is when the bed moves back and forth, and then the X and Y. So the Y is the bed moving back and forth, and the X is just it moving left and right. That's all it does.
Oh, so like the A1 Mini does that, I think.
The A1 Mini is a bed slinger. The Prusas are a bed slinger. And then there's the Core XY, which is the X and the Y axis or the core of the machine. So it moves in those two dimensions. And then Z just lowers the bed layer by layer by layer. That's the P1P, the P1S, and the X1. Now, the big thing about the P1P and the P1S that a lot of printers don't have in that price range, they come with literally a frame around them, and you can either 3D print or just straight up laser cut acrylic, CNC acrylic, cut it with a jigsaw, doesn't matter, or wood, and you can enclose that thing pretty easily. And if you vent it out, you can actually print, pretty aggressive caustic chemical finish or filaments without having any issues in your house. So there's a lot to it. If you have more questions, hit up me or Braden or Dan.
So long story short, if you're looking to get into the 3D printing world, this might be the sale for you, especially if you want to buy a quality machine.
Yeah. Sorry, I ran really late or really deep into this one.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, next question. This is a first-time caller, or at least in a long time.
Hey guys, Braden from LB Dubs. Just want to know, how did you guys get to be just so gosh darn good looking? Anyway, have a great episode. Braden, love you. Bye.
A lot of wear and tear.
I love that guy. Love that guy. What a guy.
What a guy.
And he sounds so sexy on the phone.
He sounds foreign.
He sounds foreign. Says the porter.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A lot of wear and tear over here. A lot of wear and tear.
All right, next question is from Dan. Drew Paxton called in.
Oh no.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Drew from the wood shop out back. Now that Dan is converted to the metric system and Thomas provided metric tape measures for everyone, what are the standard metric dimensions of furniture? For example, a chair is around 18 inches, a table 30 inches tall, counters 36 inches, etc. What are they in the metric system? Thanks, guys. Appreciate the podcast. Keep up the great work.
Personally, I don't live in a past. I live in a future. I figure it out as I go. So that's just my take. So I can't give you an answer. But Dan,
if you want the conversion,
because you can do it real quick in your head, right?
Usually I can do it pretty quick in my head. So the math is 25.4 times whatever inches you're trying to convert, and that'll give you the millimeters. If you want centimeters, you just multiply it 2.54. So in millimeters, chair height would be 460, or actually 457.2. So I just did that in my head right just then.
Yeah.
Table height would be
do the math.
Table height would be 760 or 62. specifically. Counter height would be like 910 or 914.4. Let's take it a step further, shall we? Because I got a couple bed orders that I need to do. So a standard king size bed is 76 by 80. So that'd be like 1930 by 2030. Okay. I can't imagine how many people's eyes are glossing over at this point. But a queen size bed would be 60 inches by 80 inches. So that would be 1525 by 20. And a twin would be 38 by 75. So that'd be 965 by 1900.
This is what happens when we let the math guy out. Look at that. Just
I thought it was
don't ever
bad
test
when
me.
I went
Don't
on
ever
a
test
rampage
me,
about
Drew.
printers.
I don't like. Just don't like it.
This was a bait and switch question by Drew Paxton, which we appreciate you, but Dan has his I love metric tape measure.
Yeah,
but
this was like
I put it upside down though. So
so your
Metric.
metric system is in distress.
It's inverted.
yeah, I don't know. Whatever. There's a
Metric
hidden meaning.
backwards doesn't spell imperial.
That question was like one of those Facebook questions on all the woodworking pages that like basically just bait anybody with a saw stop about like it's not even worth it if you just use your brain. You don't need a saw stop. The technology, you idiots. I watched one just blow up the other day, and then I got involved because I just had nothing else going on. So
Yeah, it's like when I posted all that ash I cut down and I just said, look at all this walnut. That was my caption.
Dad ash.
Speaking of dad ash, Josh the dad.
Poppy.
Josh the dad ash.
You know what time it is. It's Josh the dad. Yep. Josh the dad, one of the big IG coming at you with this week's question. Because, questions are always fun to ask, and I'm just waiting for another IG question to come in, but I don't have one this week.
I think it's my turn.
Okay, Bill, come on over. Ask a question.
That's right. I got questions, because last week I didn't get to ask the question, because you had to ask something about blah, blah, blah. And so this week, here's mine. I was in the TV room, and I was like, I'm hungry. And so I got up and went into the kitchen. And while I was in the kitchen, I heard this, da-da, 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 cow, cow, cow. And I was like, what? My AWP boys are on the tube. And I ran back into the room, and it wasn't you guys. It was like some kind of food, something or
McCormick?
other.
Yeah, that's called Grill Mates by McCormick's. They do seasoning for barbecuing.
Okay, that's great. I don't care. But they had my AWP music on there. And I was like, wait, the AWP boys are not going to stand for this. So here's my question. Will you be pursuing a lawsuit against said company and make them stop using your music? And the other question is, if you do, can you please get it on the tube? Because I really want some popcorn watching tube stuff. So, yeah, that's my question. Thanks.
You wasted that one question on that. Okay. Well, I guess that's all we got for this week. I don't know what else to say other than work hard, do your best. Make sure you find time to have a little fun.
Can I just say that I enjoy Josh Dad's music much, much better or more than the Pedro music?
It doesn't feel genuine, Dan, because it's weird. If you watch the video on youtube.com/Into the Woodshop podcast, you would see that Braden and myself were dancing fists in the air, under our chin, left to right the whole time. And Dan's just like, he had this face on him that he's like not enjoying it. But
I was bobbing my head.
He was enjoying it on the inside.
The inside.
Yeah.
We're enjoying it like on the outside.
We feel the
I
need
enjoy
to
it
display.
inwardly. I enjoy stuff inwardly, and you enjoy it outwardly.
I
Don't shame me.
I feel that intro and outro in my jimmies. Like it's in my
I
soul.
do too, but I just it shows inwardly and not outwardly. Like you.
Wait, you only feel it in New York?
Ha.
So, boys, will we be pursuing legal action or perhaps even some legal
As soon as
decimation?
the lawsuit with One Wheel is settled, because that was another one that sometimes comes up on YouTube, using that song,
Should we break some people's hearts right now? I mean,
well, don't say the name of the song. We don't want to have the joint.
No, I'm not going to say the name of the song, but we got that music on a royalty-free site, so I assume that those companies, they're using the same music.
It is a royalty-free song, and we found it back in the day, and we liked it. It's got
which kind of begs the question, McCormick, as in like spices, right?
Yeah, that's what Grill Mates by McCormick.
Don't they? You'd think that they've got spice money. They don't need to be picking up their stuff off of royalty free. Like they could pay the royalties for some music.
Yeah, it really speaks poorly about their.
Yeah,
their
it actually does. When you
I bet you they bought a bunch of 3D printers on credit cards without figuring out what they need to do with them. Now they're printing lids. They're bad with their money. That's what's happening.
Well, I mean, it's royalty-free music, but it's through a service that we pay for. But it's like it's cheap. It's like what, $7 a month or whatever.
It's royalty-free as long as you pay the reoccurring charge.
Well, it's the whole royalty-free. Some of it is a little like I've heard of people that have music pulled from any of those sites, like what is this, Artlist.io, or what's the one I use? Oh my God, I'm blanking on it. Whatever. There's like sites where you can get royalty-free music and you list your channels. And then sometimes YouTube will still be like, hey, this is the copyright, sorry. And like they'll fight for you. And the way it works is usually if you cancel your subscription, anything backdated will be covered. So you are able to still, get yourself covered, but it's a kind of a gray area sometimes. I don't know. But anyways, we're, the thing is we've talked about changing the intro song, and
it's just so us. Like
it's just so us.
It'd
be really weird if we just changed the whole jingle. Everyone would be really confused and a little upset. We don't want riots in the U.S. Like the whole country is still healing. We don't need to change the intro to AWP, right?
Correct.
Unify.
Correct.
Yeah, we want to unify. Yeah,
we don't need to be Pepsi. Changing the logo to that weird lumpy Pepsi logo.
No, you don't want to do that.
Pepsi Classic.
Yeah, know your audience. We don't want to start a riot. I've seen Civil War. I don't want that.
Just let it be known that we were the first ones to use it, not those others.
We were the first ones. We got it before it was cool, and now anytime anyone hears it anywhere, they message us and go, "Hey, they're using your song."
Yeah, nobody's messaging McCormick Spices being like, "Hey, this podcast is using your music
based out of Nebraska."
I'd just like to say for the record that Pete just admitted that AWP is Nebraska based.
If you check Yelp, then yes, it is.
I just want to make sure.
So, on Yelp,
for tax purposes,
recording
it was
studio
once in Nebraska,
based out of Omaha, Nebraska. We actually chose an address and everything. We just chose a spot in the center of Omaha.
Isn't it my? Yelp isn't my house.
It's like a random spot in the middle of Omaha.
It's a Casey's gas station.
That would be even better.
That would be better.
They get a lot of really confusing mail.
We're just recording in the bathroom. Oh,
hey Doug, can we get the bathroom key? Time for the podcast.
It's like, is your bathroom? It's occupied for 2 hours. Sorry.
The acoustics are just fantastic.
Yeah, the poop sticks.
Poop sticks. This is exactly why we've got that one review that just says if you want to listen to a bunch of boys giggle about
giggling,
a bunch of girls giggling about teenage boy jokes about poop and farts for 2 hours, this is the podcast for you.
Yes, absolutely.
This is where that came from.
Yeah, well, we're fine. All right, next question's from Alex Adams.
Hello, AWP hosts. This is Alex Adams at Type A Furniture calling in from the bustling city of York, Nebraska, famous for its water tower that is painted like a hot air balloon. And my question is, what are some things that I can do to increase the quality of the pictures and video of my projects? And I'm not talking about video editing or post-production. I'm talking more the initial raw picture and video, because I'm generally not doing a lot of editing or touch-ups after the fact. And to give you an idea of what I'm working with, typically there are larger projects like desks and tables, and my shop space is about a 10 by 30 area with ceiling height just under 8 foot. Walls are wider, a light blue, and the joists are exposed since it's a basement space. And I have put in diffused shop lights with a temperature around 5,000, and I'm typically taking picture and video with my iPhone. So I'm curious whether it is certain strategies, tactics, or hardware that will give me the most bang for my buck in terms of making that initial video and picture quality a lot better.
What a good answer. Or question. Question. Yeah, we were going to.
It's like Jeopardy. We start with the answer.
What is content creation? What a good question, Braden. I would love your take on it.
So the easiest place to start is just making sure that you're using the right equipment. And I don't mean your camera, because a lot of us are recording on your cell phone, on our cell phones. There's a lot of high-end like YouTubers that are doing it full time with their cell phones. But what I mean is, don't hold your phone all the time. Get some good tripods, get some mounts, figure out kind of what you need in your space. Justin Bailey and Patrick Genzold have that like weighted roll around like apparatus that they have for their cameras. Pete, you and I have those like little clip-on ones with like the jointed arms.
Small rig, yeah.
Yep, small rigs. And then like frog pods are really cool, where you can attach a mount on it and they're like magnetic, and they've got like little octopus hands that can kind of connect on everything. But one of the easiest ways to improve your quality of your picture is moving your camera less. And so getting good mounts, and then from there working in your lighting and figuring out kind of where you need to add on to your lighting to improve the picture. But figure out where you're going to put the camera first. Dan, you've got a little background in
Dan's got a little
photography.
Something.
Yeah.
Step one.
Say ISO.
Say white balance for me. Whisper
say white
it.
balance. Say
White balance.
That's
Step
what
one.
the patrons
If you're
pay
shooting
for.
with your phone, clean your lens with your shirt and
Honestly,
or a rag.
Best
That
tip.
is the best tip, because there are so many things that I see on Instagram. Clean your damn lens. Oh my God, because your grubby hands are all over your phone all the time. All the time. So that is the very first thing I do whenever I take a picture or video with my phone, is I'll clean the lens with my shirt or with a rag or something. Was he asking specifically about videos or finished?
No, just
like,
I guess
pictures of, like,
video.
finished-
I think he was. I think it's both, but it's how
Well,
to
I'm going to
get
give him
better
tips on how
photos and
to
video.
get better product photos, because
I would love that.
For some reason,
Yes.
that's what
I need help with that too.
I want that bad.
Yeah.
So if you're going to try to take product photos and you want nice back, whatever, try to get some separation between the background, because that'll create that slight little blur and it'll give you a little bit more depth.
That's
looking.
bokeh, right? That's the
Bokeh. It'll give you that bokeh.
Oh, that's what it's called. Yep.
And if you're only using your cell phone, specifically an iPhone, use portrait mode if you can, because that'll give you that separation you want. I to upgrade to a nice mirrorless camera or a DSLR or something like that. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars. Just if you want to upgrade and take better videos and better pictures, you could even get like a Canon Rebel or something. They all do video now, I think, these days. To be perfectly honest, I haven't really been in the camera game for a couple years now, but I imagine that the Canon Rebel is still a very viable option. These guys
I have a question. What
distracting
happened
me
to-
with the text.
I'm sorry. Well, what happened in the world with the handheld cameras? Remember Sony kind of for a while dominated the handheld camera? Because the biggest thing about a DSLR, yes, you get a nice lens, you get to play around with the settings, do all this stuff. But at the end of the day, you're capped at 30 minutes for the recordings, which like usually you don't want to have clips that long, but it's like it was such a simple kit. You could just buy a camcorder back in the day, and like I remember like back in the day we would do like rollerblading, skateboarding videos.
So
whatever. That's all we had. Had a little handle on top, and you just like did cool videos.
the reason why DSLRs are usually capped at 30 minutes recording time is because when you take a video with those, the sensor generates heat. And if you overheat that sensor, you could do a lot of damage to it. And then like your $1,000 investment is like trashed. So that's a fail safe. So you don't do like irreparable harm to your camera. That's why that happens. It's just the nature of the beast.
See, I heard something completely different about that.
Well, tell me what you heard.
I heard that it was when they export the cameras, if they've recorded more than 30 minutes, it gets classified as a video recording device or a camcorder, and it gets taxed at a higher rate. I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I heard. It could be BS.
That could be a solid point as well. I just know that when you're taking video, your sensor is getting hot because it's just working constantly. So, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, to take better product photos. Yes, get a camera system that you could exchange lenses with, because the more separation you can get between your piece and your background, the better it's going to look. So if you have a 35 millimeter lens, that'll put you like close up on the subject and it'll make it a wide angle look. I usually like to take product photos with a long lens, like 135 millimeters or 200 millimeters, because that gives you that even bigger depth of field, and it kind of shrinks the piece in the frame while narrowing the focus. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yes, it does.
So yeah, I like to
field.
Exactly. I like to shoot product photos with a longer lens.
So, to Dan, if you want to explain like tight depth of field, like what it looks like when you're actually shooting with it.
So like when you're shooting with a wide angle lens, the depth of field looks kind of flat just because it's seeing everything at once.
It's all in focus, basically.
Well, to get any sort of like depth, you really need to be really close to your subject, right? So like if I have my microphone here and it's like a foot away from my keyboard or my screen, and I shoot this with a 35 millimeter lens or millimeter lens, to get some depth there, I have to be really close to the mic, like within inches, and that'll bokeh the background of the computer.
Blur.
Whereas
bokeh meaning blur.
Bokeh blur, yes. If I have a 135 millimeter lens, I can stand back like 10 feet or so, and that'll give me an even tighter shot on the microphone while using the background of the screen like as a super bokeh, like color filled. It's really hard to explain in words without showing.
Well, let me try to explain it this way. The 105 millimeter, you said, lens, right?
135.
135. Yeah. So what portrait mode is trying to mimic is something, a lens like that, where
portrait mode is trying to mimic
where you have lens. About, I'd say a 6 to 8 inch clarity window. When you focus on the piece, it's 4 inches back, 4 inches forward is in focus. Everything else in the background is blurry. That's what the lens does. So like it just has a very tight, if you ever use binoculars, you have to like dial it in just right to see in focus at a distance. It's the same exact thing. So you get a really tight shot on the thing you want, but everything else is blurry. And it looks really professional. Like anytime you add blur to the background, but your focused item is in focus, it just looks so good.
It's always better to live the Vita bokeh.
Oh, I like that. That's
damn it. Now I gotta write down another possible show title.
La Vita bokeh.
I will say this, like phones have gotten really good at mimicking that. They're not really doing that. They're just mimicking it with I don't know if they're using AI or what they're using to mimic that. The iPhone has gotten really good at it. I think the Google Pixel is phenomenal at that. It actually has the little bokeh circles and everything in it. It's really good. But that's not what's happening. It's just a digital mimic. And sometimes you can spot the difference. If you really want that look, you should get like a decent little camera system with the lenses and everything to get the actual look.
Yeah, because sometimes it'll blur a small part of an object.
Right.
You do the
right.
iPhone one because it doesn't.
Right. It's like when you create an image with AI and it's got people in the image and you look at the hand, you're like, oh, that hand has six fingers. It's just subtle little things that you notice. You're like, oh, that's actually not legit. Anyway, that's my little take. Pete.
Yeah. So that was a great technical answer. And
I don't know. I feel like I was stammering all over the place.
It explains why people are trying to get a DSLR or something fancier. Alex, I'm going to go completely rogue with this one. You don't need anything else beyond your iPhone. What you need, something that no one in this Zoom has, despite us thinking we do, is blind confidence. Just absolute blind confidence to that, like, your video is like is the best. Like, this is thousands of people are gonna watch this. Like, just posting a video of you doing a project, doing some talking head stuff, and you're like, this is great.
Yeah, you don't need any of the stuff that I said, but if you're looking to upgrade, I mean, yeah.
Go watch Jimmy DeResta's videos. Go watch Matt Cremona. Go watch Wood Whisperer early on. Like, all these guys that you think are like. Go watch Bourbon Moth's early videos too.
Bourbon Moth, KJ Sawdust. They all did. It's cell phones.
It's
only.
Not if they were good or bad. They had video. They had content. That's all that really matters. That's all you really got to do. I think the blind confidence helps because, listen, Alex, if you post a video a week or video a month starting today, in 6 months, you're ahead of everyone on this call.
And we've had YouTubers on here before, and a lot of them has said, you can make the best video with the highest production, but if your audio is crap, people will turn it off. Your audio has to be better than your video.
Well, you could also do like full Jimmy DeResta as just ASMR background audio.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
his audio isn't bad though, because that you know what you're getting with Jimmy.
If you build it, they will come. Get content out there, Alex. Don't overthink it. Yeah, I had a call with Alex a couple of days ago. Like, just get the content out there. Get that Instagram page as your front facing customer. Like, this is my products, and then get some YouTube stuff out if that's what you want to go with. Because getting it out there is more important than getting a good video out there. And then when you start getting stuff out there and start building, then start dialing in the things. You're just going to naturally get better. Like Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast, like the biggest YouTuber in the world, he just says, you don't figure it out until your 100 and number 101 video. Like, get 100 videos out there, then we'll talk about how you need to get better.
We're episode 206 and we're still not figuring it out.
We're still trying to figure it out. Well, there's 3 of us, so we need episode 300 to really dial it in.
I'm freaking crushing it. I don't know about you guys.
The performance review is in 2 weeks, so we'll see.
I've technically been headhunted.
This is awkward.
This
is awkward. It's awkward.
You were headhunted once. It was us.
Alex, record your videos and your content with the confidence that I go into podcasting. Just
blind confidence.
Just blind misplaced confidence.
I hate to say it, but that's kind of the biggest benefit, biggest bang for your buck. Braden, did we ask you already or?
Yeah, Braden
I started with the tripods.
You went first. Okay,
steady up.
No, that was good advice of actual technical answers. You guys did great. I think just there's something to be said about the blind confidence of some people out there that how is this guy famous? Oh, he posts.
I always worry when a question like that comes up because I really feel like I know what I'm doing with a camera, but I'm really bad at explaining it. Really bad.
You did pretty good.
Well, and just this whole posting thing too is, we've all had stuff that's popped off that we looked at and we're just like, why is this one going off? Like, end of the day, in terms of like content, doesn't matter. Just get the volume out there.
Oh yeah.
You know, don't put out garbage, but at the end of the day, like, put out content.
That's why all my content these days are just with my phone. Like, I don't even go get the nice camera equipment anymore, just because like the product, not the product, the what's the word I'm looking for? The production factor isn't a factor when it comes to what's going to do good on Instagram or any social media for that matter.
Yeah,
you just never know. So like,
good enough is right where it's at.
Yeah,
the best camera is the camera you have in your pocket. Or
I will say though, if you're going to be doing a lot of Instagram, TikTok, and story-based content, learn story and reel etiquette and cadence, and that just means don't go, "Hey guys, Peter from Peach's Workshop here. So we're working on this." That's already 10 seconds. Like, you're done. No one's watching that. Just hit him with something like, "I think I broke my table saw," and then go into the video. Start with a hook. Don't edit out the pauses. Learn etiquette. Learn how Instagram, when you flip a video from forward facing to backwards facing, give it a 2 cadence. Like, give it a 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. When it flips, it doesn't record any of you talking in the middle of it. Sometimes people will be like, "Hey guys, so like, let me show you what I'm working." Anyway, so we're over here, and they just cuts in the middle of the sentence because they didn't stop talking while they flip the camera. These little cadence things that you learn as you do it more. But the moral of the story is, do it more, and you'll figure it out.
Blind confidence.
Blind confidence. Just go into it like Kimani does into his life. Blow him up. Kimani just lives his life one 25-second reel story at a time, quarter mile at a time.
That reel had so much torque it twisted the frame coming off the line.
All right, so let's get into it. Last two are 2 questions from Thomas. They're both from France, and
makes sense.
It's exciting. Yeah. So the first one is, I think, a follow up on last week's question, or 2 weeks ago.
Hey, it's Thomas from L'Atelier à Bois. In the last podcast, you asked me to give you an update on my bug problem, and here's my slap back, kickback, pinched blade, whatever. What I ended up doing is first completely clean my shop. I removed every speck of dust and monitored any piece of food I had in there. If I found dust under one, I threw it away, and I kept checking 1 or twice a day. So far, I had to throw most of the cherry wood I suspected and squash 2 more bugs. It's been 2 days without anything now. Next step is to burn anything that have bugs holes or that I suspect in the wood stockpile I keep outside my house. It's been raining almost every day for a month now, so I couldn't do it yet. And finally, I'll spray with mineral spirit and keep for a few hours in a plastic bag any piece of food from the stockpile before bringing it in the shop. All right, thanks for your advice. Bye.
Before you move on to the next question, break this down for me, because I'm not
okay. I was about
sure
to
I follow it exactly. Okay,
no, it's fine. So this is Tomas' follow-up on the question from episode 204, where he talks about he had he turned a vase, and either at a craft fair, or I don't think he even delivered it to a customer, but at a craft fair he started seeing like a bug crawled out of a hole. Right. And then he found out it was from some green wood that he had in a shop that was stored outside and brought into the shop. And then he started panicking because it was near a bunch of cherry wood. He ended up throwing it. So he talks about getting rid of that cherry wood. And this is a great, like, if you want, listen back to episode 204, and this follow-up will make a little more sense. He had bugs in his shop. And it's scary because when you have wood stored up and down your shop, and you get bugs in one thing, you can get bugs in everything.
Like wood-eating bugs. We're not just talking like
we're not
an
talking
ant here or there.
Yeah, like and not an ant, cockroach, or whatever. Like no, like actual like emerald ash borer, like carpenter ants, or like bugs that just dig through, like just beetles that just
termites. Oh, termites would be super bad.
Termites are awful. Yeah. So he talked about that and things that he did. We actually gave some really good tips about how to potentially get rid of that stuff. Or I gave one tip that we did. We all kind of gave some advice on that.
I'm genuinely curious because I don't.
You were really mad at Lowe's that episode, so I don't think. But
I sort of remember that. Okay.
Like my favorite advice still is from Vic from the Stump Shop, which is put tape upside. If you bring wood from outside, you put tape upside down on the floor around it, like make a perimeter, and then any bugs coming out at night will get stuck in the tape. I think that's great.
See the bugs and be like,
you see it the next morning and be like, holy smokes, that's a lot of stuff. So that's a really good way to do it. But he got rid of a lot of the bad stuff, so that's good. So hopefully there's no other issues, Thomas, that you're dealing with. But now let's get into his question.
Hey, it's Thomas again, and this time with a question. So I'm working on the bookshelf that looks like a bubble coming out of a wall. It's 130 centimeter in diameter. I'm going to make it with interlocking planks, and so I need the interlocking recesses slots to be precise, and I don't know how to proceed. I can either print the plans and glue it directly on the planks. It's simple, but it will be a pain to do. But the other solution is that I have a laser engraver, so I can engrave on long planks by sliding them through the enclosure of the laser. I could engrave the plan directly on them, but I'll have to do it by section of 40 centimeters by 40 centimeters at the time. And I haven't thought of a good option to iron the planks properly for each job yet. Do you have any ideas for me? I think I could first cut a reference line to use as a 0 and make a bunch of marker on it, just like a ruler. And then for each job, I'd have to slide the planks from a marker to another. I don't know if it makes any sense. Anyway, thanks for your suggestions, advice. Bye.
I just want to say that I appreciate Thomas calling in his non-native language every week and getting his question across pretty well. Although with a thick accent, I appreciate you, man. That's awesome. That's good.
We all appreciate you.
Now let me translate for everyone. So Thomas is working on, and I feel like a lot of us have seen this shelf. I think even IKEA sells a version of it. It's a shelf that goes on a wall, but it's bubble shaped. It's almost like a section of a bubble is coming out of the wall. So it kind of tapers into a thick full frame and then back out to look like a section of a sphere coming through the wall.
I think I can picture that.
Yep. So a lot of times, a lot of those are kind of assembled with like a half lap, like a pat lap joinery. So what he's talking about is either having to print files on paper, like back in the day, we used to print files, glue them onto your paper, cut them on your bandsaw or whatever to the line, and you sand off the glue and paper and stuff like that. The other option he was talking about is maybe using a laser to actually mark up where he needs to make the cuts. Because what he's concerned about, he doesn't have a CNC, so he can't just put a plank in a CNC and then cut out all the pieces. But even with that, you still have a 1/4 of an inch or an eighth of an inch round over in the corners, which could prevent your joints from actually meeting up well. So he's kind of asking what he should consider doing that, or if he should try doing a full job and tiling it through the laser. Honestly, I think doing if he can do laser marking, if that's big enough, that sounds great. But honestly, there is nothing wrong with paper templates. I feel like that's
No,
frowned upon
nothing at
now.
all.
Yeah, I feel like that people don't look at paper templates now. They're just like, I want the SVG file, DXF, like, or you can just print a paper file. And another option that I actually picked up from my friend Bethany, Craftsman Bethany, she has a projector that she projects onto fabric, and it's at 1-to-1 scale, so that she can just project onto fabric and cut along the lines. So like you can also do that if you're ever like, if you have just like a big tabletop, whatever, you can have a projector.
If you have a projector, yeah.
Dial it in. If you have like projectors are, you can get a okay projector for under $100 these days. Like they're all over TikTok, they're on Amazon and stuff. You don't need to get like a high end for like watching movies. You just need it to lay out like a basic grid and everything, and to measure it out, do your layout, and you can literally just mark it up with a ruler as well. I thought that was really neat, and I've honestly thought about doing that for my outfit table, or if I need to do markups and stuff, because it just looks cool. But that's one option. I don't know, Dan, what do you have?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with using a paper template. I don't see why you couldn't, and maybe I misheard what you were asking, but I don't see why you couldn't build the thing in full, and then when you take it apart, you cut your curves afterwards with a paper template.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So just cut all the half laps and everything.
Yeah, so build it like it's a square cabinet sort of thing, and then take it apart, and then and cut all your curves after.
That might not work with the.
I will say, I'm assuming here that these
smaller,
the half laps are bigger than what a table saw will clear. So he's having
if you have a bandsaw
or bandsaw or something,
or even a.
But even a bandsaw, like think about it, like you've got
even a
the other
jigsaw.
side of. Yeah, I think it would be a jigsaw, because a bandsaw, like if you have a wide piece you're trying to slide across, you're gonna hit the rail of the bandsaw itself. But I think paper templates, there's nothing wrong with paper templates.
Yeah.
Although,
do you have any ideas?
I think he talks about using the laser and tiling.
I don't understand what he's talking about with the laser, though. How would that help?
So he's talking about.
He would lay out the lines with laser.
Yeah, he'd basically have the laser.
He'd make like a template with the laser.
He would laser right onto the workpiece, and then use that as the template.
Yeah,
which is not the worst idea. Like I could do that with my big laser, but like
but he said
it's not a
bit. Say that this is 130 centimeters, which is like 50 inches, 51 inches.
He's talking about tiling it, so basically lasering part of it and then moving it, and
that just seems like way more work than. That's just making paper templates.
That's where I'm at. I know a lot of people, they can tile, and the same thing with like the CNC. Like tiling to me, I feel like it'd be really hard to be precise enough to that to where it would be worth the extra time versus just getting a paper template. And then don't put it on the piece. I would put the paper template onto some 1/8 or 1/4 inch like MDF or something like that, and use that as a template, because you could do all of your basically, if you reference it from the back of the work piece, you could do all of your half laps. They're all going to be the same, and then you go from there and you do your curves and you make everything.
Well, okay, then we can take that one step further. If I don't know what kind of laser he has, first of all, what kind of power it has.
Shark mounted.
If he's just gonna take paper and put that onto 1/4 inch MDF or 1/8 inch MDF or whatever you said, why not just get rid of the paper altogether and cut templates straight into the 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch plywood and tile that?
If he's comfortable enough with tiling, I mean, it removes a step.
And then use that to pattern route.
I don't trust myself with with tiling, because I haven't done it enough. But you also might not need like the curve. The curve you could always kind of like free ball it a little bit.
Yeah, but that doesn't need to be super accurate.
It's the joinery, and you can essentially just make templates just for the joints and mark them up, literally with a ruler, like they did back in the day before they had printers and computers and everything.
Back in my day,
when I was your age,
I walked uphill both ways to my laser.
So I have something in my shop that I've used all of one time that I got 3 sheets of for this.
To the wind?
Yeah.
Is this your power washer?
No, it's 1/16th, if not thinner, backer. It's Luan. It's if I just it's a 4x8 sheet, and if I pull it out of where I store it, it'll just go and potato chip on itself. It completely folds into a barrel or whatever, or it'll go snap.
It'll go like what?
It,
That sounds like a dying cat.
meh, meh, meh. But it's literally 1 mil thick, and honestly, I got it for like throwaway templates, like quick. Like I want these exact dimensions. Cut the whole template, throw it on a piece of wood, mark it up, throw the template in the trash. Like not feel bad because it's an 1/8 inch or it's nice Baltic birch or whatever. This is like crap material. It's literally used as like backer board on stuff. It's 1 mil thick, and it lasers super easy, even on a cheap laser. So like that's something you can consider as well. I don't know if you guys have access to like some really, really thin material. You don't have to default to 1/4 inch thick or 1/8 inch thick. Go to like really thin 1 mil or something. And here's the best thing. Your laser, it'll cut paper. It'll cut cardboard. You could just, or what do they call it? Chipboard? Chipboard is just thick cardboard or like thick paper that they used to like lay down when they're doing construction and stuff. Get that. I don't know if they have something like that in France. I'm assuming they do. They probably call it like Le Chipe board or something.
Bordeaux.
Yeah, Le Chipe Bordeaux.
Le Borax.
It's a Bordeaux. But good question, Thomas. Got us thinking about templates. I feel like, you know what? We are a little spoiled because we have lasers and CNCs.
Like big ones.
Yeah.
And
big sizable ones. Even with the CNC. Like, we are kind of spoiled in the fact that, like, we don't think about paper templates anymore. People used to buy paper templates from Woodcraft or Woodsmith Magazine or whatever.
I don't even make anything without the CNC anymore.
Yeah, I'm at the,
if I can't CNC it, like, I don't want to do it. That's too much work.
I'm at the point where if it's bigger than my CNC, sounds like it's a job for somebody else.
Yeah, as Braden's biggest fan would say, is that's not real woodworking.
That's cheating.
I wonder what he's up to today.
I don't know.
Just carving a spoon in his sweater pants.
Like voting for the Green Party.
Probably not.
Well, guys, I think that's all of our questions. I think we got through all
my
of them.
goodness. Thank gosh.
We got through Drew, Alex, Josh. This is good. So next week, we're going to be doing a recap. So again, I want to remind everyone, we're going to be on the West Coast in just south of LA. Braden, do you have that address? West Side. Braden, do you have the address again?
Hold, please.
While he's looking it up, we're going to be at the Surfprep headquarters on the West Coast, just south of LA. We're going to be there all Saturday for the Maker Meetup.
Elsinore, I believe, but I don't know the numbers.
571 Birch Street, Lake Elsinore, California.
Amazing.
92530.
That's really close to 90210.
The celebrities.
You guys want to go to Rodeo Drive and do some shopping?
I would love nothing less than
Can
that.
I go in my snapback hat, my flip-flops, and my cargo shorts? Do you think I'd get funny looks? Let's go.
You might.
You're going to get funny
I'll
looks
even wear
anywhere
my
you go,
shirt
Dan.
that says I love crotch.
You're whiter than white oak. You might get some looks.
Probably.
That's some hard maple right there. That's what that is.
He served some time. It's hard maple. Oh, that describes Dan pretty well. He is hard maple.
I can't wait for next week's What's on My Bench, where I give the answer to the question that we were asked earlier.
What is that?
The printer?
The laser, the 3D printer.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
And Dan's like, so I have 78 back ordered orders.
Not
if my help continues to show up.
I took 2 business days off, so I guess I'm 100 orders behind now.
But Dan, he's been helping though. That's good. That's really good to hear.
Yeah.
I've been on the edge of my seat, like waiting to hear about this because I know how productive you were when you had Isaiah there.
Well, I'm being productive, like if I'm not talking much.
That's actually a really good point. When Dan's quiet, he's busy.
less stressed Dan
Or
is always
sleeping.
better than more stressed Dan.
Busy. You're busy sleeping.
I'm busy doing something.
You're taking your OSHA mandated Dan nap.
Yeah, but
you either get busy living or you get busy pooping. That's what my grandpappy always used to
busy
say.
Dan or like busy with someone else shop in a shop Dan is better than stressed about orders and quiet Dan.
True.
Idle Dans are the devil's plaything.
Okay.
Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was Dan. Well, speaking of dry things, we're going to be in California next week or this week.
Welcome to the danger zone.
I love that. That needs to be a shirt. Welcome to the danger zone. Dan, can we get a picture of you just like sitting in a chair in front of the CNC on your phone, like feet up, but the CNC's running? I think that needs to be the danger zone. Are you seeing the picture I'm painting?
Yeah, I can sort of see it.
Very cash.
I'll see what I can do.
But flip flops too, please.
Yeah, just flip flops surrounded by like power tools.
Obviously.
Yeah, like him feet up on a CNC while it's carving something, and just him going with the phone. I think that's a shirt I would wear.
All right, I'm on it.
We can make this happen. I love this.
If you do it fast enough, we could make some leather patch hats for Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like
okay.
the Omen dunking with the hand plane, but just like it's Dunlap dunking with a phone leaning against the CNC. I love it. I know we bust Dan's balls, but like Dan works harder than me and Braden combined.
Dan is my hero.
I don't know about that.
He's my spirit animal.
I'm feeling awkward.
Dan,
this is making me uncomfortable.
I need you to know that I'm not sarcastically saying this. You are my woodworking hero. You are like the first person I think to ask any question about woodworking at any time.
You are the wind beneath my wings.
Awkward Dan sings.
You're the wind beneath my butt. And with that, guys, thank you so much.
Love you long time.
We'll see you guys Saturday.
Can't wait to see you guys Saturday. Bye.
It's gonna be fun.
Bye.